What's happening, family? Don't mind me being silly. Don't mind my silly self. I'm just still trying to wake up today. It's the day's just get the day's just getting started, but you know, it's yeah, it's getting started, but it's going by quickly. I'm sure we all know that. We can all see that. It definitely seems like it, right? Yeah. Hope everybody's day is going, you know, good today so far, and I hope the rest of your day is, you know, a good day. A lot of times we, I was gonna say productive day too. Good day, productive day. Um, Aside from being productive, it's important that we, find some rest time between. It's a balance. Rest and work. You got to do both. There is no one without the other. You can't work too much and not rest, and you can't rest too much. Wait, let me make sure cause I'm like half asleep, half awake right now. Let me make sure I'm saying this right. You can't rest too much, you know, and you can't work too much and not rest, and you can't rest, and vice versa. All right. You gotta have a balance of both. Too much of one can be highly detrimental. You can only imagine if you work too much, you're gonna burn yourself out, which I'm sure we've all felt that at some point, right? And of course, if you rest too much, then the opposite effect happens where you kind of fall back. You get, you know, you things basically start catching up to you. Your bills start catching up to you faster than you can, what I'm trying to say, like things of that nature. So you want to be able to stay on top of things. And in the mix of all of that, I think it's important that we find our peace. Okay, we find our peace, and that's exactly what today's topic is going to be about. I want to talk about a little bit about peace, which is I feel like is extremely important um, for all of us, not just a lot of us, all of us. Even for some of us knuckleheads out here who are just knuckleheads. Um, we all seek peace. We all need peace at some point. I'm trying to say, like, we can't um, live a life without peace. That can be very detrimental for our mindset. All right, so it's very important that we seek peace. We have peace, all right, at some point of life and time. And yeah, that's what today's topic is going to be about. It's talking a little bit about peace. Talking a little bit about that. All right, so let's talk about peace real quick, right? So if I were to ask you, why is peace important? What are some of the thoughts that is going on through your mind? Like, what are some of the thoughts that passes through your mind when I if I were to ask you, like, why is peace, or why is peace important to you or to anyone? Just take a few seconds to think about it. I mean, I'm sure if you if you value sorry if if you value peace, it probably didn't take you very long to think about it. I'm sure you probably jumped on that response in your mind about why you value peace so much. And when I when I speak about peace, right, and I'll tell you about my own self, my own experience, and how I feel about peace, right. So real quick with that, peace is, well, at least to me, extremely important because um, it allows you to move freely. It allows you to function. That's what I wanted to say originally. It allows you to function. Without peace, I feel like we can't function at our highest, at our best self. We need true peace. If we're always moving in chaos, always moving in dysfunction, That's exactly what it's gonna be. It's not, you can't fully function like that. No one can, and it's not. I wouldn't inform anyone to do so. So it is important that we do seek peace. All right. Um, Let me see. Let me see. What are some other things? Some other things with peace is it affects the people around us. You know. Our level of peace, more, believe it or not, more than we realize it does affect the people around us. We might not realize it, but it does. Um, you know, how we show up for ourselves, people can see it. They see it and they move different too, when they see that. People can either feed off of your energy and love to be around you and love, what you're coming with, or they can see that you're in misery or see that you're coming with anger, rage, and all this other stuff, and they don't want anything to do with you. So if you can find that peace with yourself first, then it'll move some things around in the lives of others around you too. All right, that's a lot of things. Those are some of the things that a lot of people just don't think about. Right. So um, so once again, if I were to ask, what is peace, right? What is peace? What is peace to you? What's peace in general? And I actually have a small definition that I wrote down. I'll just read it to you real quick. All right. And the definition, the sentence that I have here for you is: peace is a freedom from disturbance, tranquility, and a period of freedom from war or chaos. All right. I'll repeat that again. What is peace? Peace is a freedom from disturbance, tranquility, and a period of freedom from war or chaos. Which, once again, like I said before, it is important. I think it is important that we have a time frame, have a time of peace. You know, um, you know, whether from everything, from work, from always being on the move. Sometimes you just gotta relax. We do need that peaceful time to ourselves to just sit and just kind of like, a lot of just sometimes just chill, just have some chill time, to regroup, rejuvenate yourself, and you know that way you can bounce back stronger. When we're constantly on the move, constantly moving, constantly working, you'll burn out for sure. All right, and it's important that we find our peace. All right, and another thing that affects our peace, that's important, is the people. So you remember how I said how our own peace affects um, those around us, right? Now, same in the reverse, same vice versa. Those around us can affect our peace. You get me, blood? The type of people that we decide to keep around us affects our peace as well. You know, if you're constantly being around people who are energy vampires, constantly sucking you of your energy, and constantly, give me 1 second. Sorry, there it is. And they're constantly nagging you, um, or pouring nothing but negative vibes and negative energy into your mind and your spirit. Um, how you doing? Um, how do you think that's gonna affect you? It's gonna affect you for sure. You know, the kind of people that you have around you. You can have people around you that's either around you to pour into you and build you up, or you can have people around you that will take from you. And it doesn't have to be taking from you. Yes, sir, you already know. You already know. It doesn't have to be taken from you financially. It can be taken from you mentally, spiritually, your energy. Where your energy flows, your energy grows. Um, and where people, they have a huge effect in that. The ones you keep around you in your circle. Okay. Um, that's why it is important that we definitely sit and analyze and look at what the people around us, how are they showing up for us? What are they doing? How are they pouring into us? Things of that nature. These are things that a lot of people overlook. Matter of fact, yeah, these are things that, I mean, we've all been through it. I've been through it. Um, I wish I've learned it earlier. Um, not a lot of people, um, not a lot of people pick these things up till later on in life, you know, and it's important. It is important. Okay. Now there are two types of people in this world. Okay. There are two types of people in this world: people who run amok in their own lives, right? Um, of their own lives and the lives of others, and people who value peace. Okay, people who value peace. Um, their own peace of mind, their own space and time. Meaning they will never want to waste a single day or moment to bring chaos or ruckus to the life of another human being. Okay? There are two types of people: people who actually want peace, right? People who actually want peace, or people who, um, people who actually want peace, and people who go out of their way to make others' lives miserable. There are two types of people, all right? And I'll stop and ask you, who do you think you are out of the two? Ask yourself that question. Are you the type that you value peace, you like peace? That means you also like to bring peace to others? Or are you the type that you don't really give two flying hoots about peace, and you also don't mind, um, causing chaos in the lives of others? We got to ask ourselves these questions, right? I mean, those who like bringing chaos, I don't even think they're ever going to ask themselves that question. They probably wouldn't even ask themselves that question. They will just do what they do and keep it moving. You know how they say misery loves company, and that's how they move. But those who actually value peace and they value their time, they know not to move like that, right? Um, Now, an example of this, uh, in slavery times, right, where one side only wants peace. Okay, one side. Speak about, like, yeah. So speaking for slavery, for example, one side wanted peace, and what did the other side want? But the other never knew how to leave anything alone. You notice that, right? That's a solid example of peace right there. In slavery times, one side only always wanted peace, and then the other side, what happened with the other side? You notice that they could just never leave anything alone. You always meddling in things, always poking your nose in, always attacking, always on the. These are the two sides of peace and not peace. How to meddle with everything, everything. It was pretty annoying, actually. In other people's affairs and everything. They couldn't just keep in their own business. If they see someone else thriving, they would get jealous. They wouldn't like it at all. They see you, if other people, they see that you're climbing up in life, you're doing good for yourself. They probably don't want you to win. They don't like seeing you climb up and be good. They want to just drag you down so that way you can be like them, instead of giving to you, pouring into you, giving back to you, telling you things to uplift you, to encourage you, to move you forward. They want to push you backwards. These are the people you want to be aware of. All right. Now, some other examples that we have are some stories in the Bible. Okay, Joseph and his brothers, for example, right? Joseph and his brothers. How anyone would agree that had it not been for God giving Joseph the level of peace that he had given him, more than half of us would have been, you know, we've been like, we probably would have planned to have gotten some kind of revenge on, you know, on our spouse, not spouse, our siblings, our brothers in that situation, right? Like, you would have wanted to have planned to, because if it wasn't for God's level of peace that He gave Joseph, I'm sure any of us would have not had that peace, and we would have probably wanted to plot against our siblings, you know, our brothers in that situation. You'd be thinking about how can you get them back, but it's because of the peace of God that God he he held Joseph down. He gave Joseph that level of peace, so that way he didn't come with that kind of mannerism. Let's look at another one, the story of Daniel, the Daniel in the lion's den. How Daniel had to have a level of belief and faith in God, and because of his relationship with God, even though he was in a den of lions, God was able to allow him to be at peace, right? And imagine being in a situation like that, where you're in a den of lions. You're not gonna keep peace. You're not gonna have peace. You're gonna be like your pants type stuff, in your pants type stuff. Like, you know, I'm trying to say, like moving the corn, all kinds of fidgety type stuff. You know, and yeah, it just wouldn't sit right. You know, but in that situation, God was able to give him that level of peace by showing no fear and trusting in God's deliverance as God sends his angels to protect Daniel from the lions. Right? It shows what God can do for us. Or how about the story of Elijah? The story of Elijah. How God had to bring him a level of peace. You know, he had to bring Elijah a level of peace, his prophet, when he was at fear of his life. Because Jezebel, at the time, we know who Jezebel is. Jezebel was taking out all of God's prophets at the time. Right? You can only imagine. And the situation with that story is, I mean, it's kind of crazy because she was taking out all the prophets at that time. And it got to the point where Elijah was like the last man standing type deal. You know? And that's when God had the whole brawl thing happening between Elijah and Jezebel and her false prophets. You know, with the whole fire raining down. I'm sure a lot of you know the story. You know, where her prophets couldn't do it, but of course, God being with Elijah, he was able to do it. So that's victory on his side. So he gave him peace about the situation. He brought peace to him, and then he delivered him at the same time. Right? Somebody say it to themselves, God will do it. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Beast? What's going on? Somebody say God will do it. What's going on, bro? All right? And all of these great stories, that no matter what we face, right? Or no matter what storms we are going through, that God can, and he will always bring us peace, no matter the storm. That's a powerful thing. What's going on, famo? What's going on, bro? Today I am working. it's been a non-stop thing. I'm on the go today. I'm on the go. I just wanted to jump on live real quick and quick word in real quick. Um, Now, let me see. Now, I want to say this too, right? Now, a lot of people, let me see, has God ever out of a bad situation in life? That's a really good question, bro. I like that question. I like that question a lot. Um, a lot. To answer the question, a lot. He's definitely guided me out of a lot. He's guided me. He's still guiding me. Actually, I'm going through um, a storm of my own right now, um, and we're getting things in. We're getting things done. We're getting results. So um, he has always shown me his hand. He's always been there with me. He's always shown me. I mean, when I mean actually, like I mean, there are people in the world that can tell you like stories, you know. So it's not like I'm by myself in this. You know what I'm trying to say? So they can tell you themselves. They believe it. They see it too. And there are stories where God, He will definitely. It'll be one of those moments where you just stop and be like, that couldn't be nothing but God right there. It's a lot of those moments because and they'll happen pretty often. They'll happen if you pay attention. That's the thing. We gotta pay attention to it though. Like we gotta like be on the lookout for these things. You know what I'm trying to say? Like these things will definitely go over a lot of people's heads if you're not paying attention. So you gotta pay attention to them too. You know, it's not just like not paying attention. You have to still pay attention. Like you gotta be on the lookout, be aware, be on the lookout. So, but yeah, nah, he's taking me through a storm, and it's going. You know, you'll hear about it. You'll hear about it soon enough. If you need someone to talk to, I'm gonna hear you out. Hey man, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Much love. Much love. If you haven't already, says subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to the channel, and you'll always see whenever I post. Check me out. I'm well. I'm just getting into it, but I'm just appreciate that, bro. Cool beans. Yeah, I just started dropping some tracks. You know, doing music, and I'm just like I said, I'm getting started, so it's gonna be fun. I got more projects that I'm working on right now. Currently working on an album. I got a few singles I'm gonna release before the album, so be on the lookout for that. Oh yeah, I got an Instagram as well. So if you go on on my YouTube, sorry, on my Facebook, go on my YouTube, and my link is under my YouTube. All right, my Instagram link. I got my Instagram and my TikTok on my YouTube, so go ahead and check it out on there as well, and you'll see it there as well. The link is there under my YouTube. There's a link right there in my YouTube, my Insta, and my TikTok. Yeah. All right. Bet. All right. Cool. I follow you back. I follow you back. Bet. All right, guys. So let me run through this real quick. Let me finish it off. I mean, we're almost done. We're almost done. Um. All right. So, um, duty calls. Um. Okay. So now another point that I wanted to, because I was thinking about what I was gonna say. Another point that I wanted to make, right, is now a lot of people they want to try and find peace outside of God, right? This is like a really strong and important point though that I think needs to be spoken about. It can't be overlooked because you gotta go to when it comes to peace, you have to go to the source of peace. It's not just like trying to get it outside by yourself, outside of the source by yourself. Like we're trying to seek what it is, by yourself, for yourself in the world. Like that's not really how it works. a lot of people try to do it by themselves and it backfires, you know. So I'm gonna give it to you real and raw as it is. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Take what it is. You take it how you take it, and you move with it how you want to move with it. All right. Um, Now a lot of people they want to try to find peace outside of God, right? Whether it be in material things or substances, right? See, you see now as people they substances, for example, people how many people do we know that we're quick to, if we're stressing, we want to go and take this substance or that substance to kind of like alleviate the moment, take our minds off of the moment. Now you can say for the moment, yeah, it'll take your mind off of it, but can we really call that true peace though? Can we really call that true peace if you think about it? Because, like I said, for the moment, it might take your mind off the situation, but long term, once that high goes away, what you think is gonna happen then? You think the problems won't still be there? I feel you, bro. I feel you, and guess what? The the key word that I like that you put in that sentence was I was. That word was. That means you did your work, bro. And I'm proud of you for that. I'm proud of you for that. Being in addiction of any sort is not an easy thing to break out of. You know, um, everybody has their own different addictions, and or yeah, to be honest, some might not even realize that they have an addiction is a thing. Um, and it could be from like substance. It could be from you know constantly watching the corn type stuff. Type media. Um, it can be binge flipping through social media. It could be anything, from the biggest things to the smallest of things. Like, an addiction is a serious thing that is a consistent thing that we don't think about. We might not think about that affects us. You know, um, and it's hard to break. It is hard to break. It's hard to break, hard to shake. But once you do it, kudos. God was with you, and God will always be with you. He gonna bless you for it. If we that's the thing. That's just the first. God showed me that this behavior was self-destructive and inflicted pain on others. Let me see. This thing's my first girlfriend broke up with me because I started dealing, and it made me paranoid. Hey, man, that's all it is, man. That's all it is. God will, uh, yeah, he'll reveal these things to us. You know, it's some of us. Yes, we have to. Some of it's like it's levels to it, right? Like some of us, we have to work. We have to learn harder than others. We have to. Some of us have to learn harder than others through certain situations. Um, Thankfully, with your situation, and it's like you didn't have to go too far deep. You know what I'm trying to say? Like there are people who learn too much. Like you have to learn. Like I said, there's levels to it. Some people they go all the way. They get locked up. Some people don't even get out of it alive. They lose their life. You know what I'm trying to say? Like some people lose their life in the matter. Imagine that. It's messed up. It really is sad. It's highly sad, actually. Some people lose their lives in it. So the fact that we can actually sit and have a discussion and we can still be here breathing is a blessing by itself. Out of it. Broke over. I stopped everything I was doing. Sorry, this thing keeps moving. Okay. Let me try to make sure this thing stays on. It's acting crazy on me. Okay, there it is. Same day she broke up with me. I stopped everything I was doing and paid what I owed and started a new life. Yeah, good, bro. I'm proud of you for that. I'm for real, proud of you for that, man. Amen. That's what it's all about, bro. Like we've all came from somewhere, bro. We all came from somewhere. You know, we came from somewhere. We came from somewhere that we're not. A lot of us are not proud of. Um, you know, and I can't speak for all of us, but for some of us who have come from, you know, places that weren't good, right? And we see the dysfunction that was there before, and for us to want to take that dysfunction and, you know, now see it and bring that back to the people or bring that back to others or just to ourselves, you know, it's a beautiful thing. It really is. You know, when you want to actually do better for yourself, not just for yourself, but you want to, you know, use your lessons to have other people dodge those lessons, or you want to start teaching, or you want to have others see, you know, to dodge that pothole. Is a beautiful thing, bro. Like I dap everybody up who's like that. And you get real props from me like that. That's real. Because not a lot of people are brave. It's a brave move within itself. It's a brave move because you're choosing to stand up against the grain. You know, if you look around us, um, everything in this world, they more so they more so support a lot of negativity. You know, they'll see more negativity being pushed, but you won't hear much about positivity being pushed. Now, will you? Nah. Anything positive is kind of, you know, you're not hearing much about it. But that's because the devil got his hands on the world. He's the one that's more so in control of the media, and you know why you think you look at the news, you hear nothing but negativity in the news, things of that nature. Like, you know, you don't hear much of positivity being pushed in the world. When honestly, man, I think personally, positivity in this world will get all of us a lot further than where we are right now. Imagine if we all came together and did something good versus being divided and you know, aggressive towards each other, hate each other for no reason. You know, I'm trying to say, what if we all came together, we brought we each brought our own individual abilities, or, you know, talents. We brought all of it together. You know how much we get accomplished if we actually thought like that and worked like that. Society as a whole would be completely like crazy. It'd be crazy. Thanks, man. I learned my lesson, but I wish I didn't have to. Nah, I feel that. I feel that. I feel that, bro. Trust me. I feel that 100%. You know, um, and it definitely does cut. It does cut. It does cut deep. You know, where I too, I also wish that certain things didn't happen. You know, we wish certain things didn't happen for sure, that we would have learned sooner. But don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up so much about it, bro, because you were starting off in life. You were starting off in life where you, um, where it was basically all you knew. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, we can't beat ourselves up about what we did not know. You only knew what you knew at the time. You were doing your best at the time. You probably didn't have a lot of positive influence around you at the time to pour positivity into you or to tell you what, you know, what's wrong, what's right. You know what I'm trying to say? So if we don't have that guidance early on in our lives, oh no, trust me, we'll definitely fall. We'll fall in a multiple of ways. We'll fall. See confirmation. If we don't have that support, someone pouring into us, talking to us, life into us, giving us positivity, lifting us up, telling us what's right, what's wrong, what not to stay, what to stay away from, you know, things like that, and what, you know, what to look forward to, things of that nature. If you don't have people talking to you like that and pouring into you early, teaching you, even like a father figure or a big brother figure, that's big cousin figure, whatever, a friend. The least we have those things, the easier it is for us to just be like messed up in the beginning. But what I like to look at and focus on too is not the fact that it happened, but where we are right now, what we've learned from it, and the fact that you were even able to bounce back from it. You know, um, there are people who these things happen to, you know, early on in life, whatever, and fast forward, they're still the same way. Those are the situations. Those are situations you don't want to be like. Those are people you don't want to be like. The fact that you can learn your lesson and keep it moving in a positive way, man, God's gonna bless you for real. That's it. God gonna bless you for real. That was last. See. Oh man, I wanted to ask you that. All right, bro. I wanted to ask you that question. I wanted to ask you. Well, not necessarily that I wanted to ask it, but it did cross my mind, like the time frame. Um, uh, uh, you know, in, in which it happened. Um, because I'm thinking myself. I'm not gonna lie. I'm thinking it happened like years ago. That's why I didn't want to get too deeply into it. I didn't want to get into your affair. Now, hold on. Reading what you just said. It says that was last year when I was 19. That was last year when I was 19. Now that I'm turning 20, if I find a girl that shows me the same love, I'm never letting myself turn into the person I was. Much love about that, bro. Much love. Much love. Respect. One that's respect. Got respect for you on that. Now the other part of that is the fact that it wasn't so long ago. That's the part. Now I want to comment on that. Now that you brought it up, I kind of want to comment on it, right? All right. So now the fact that it wasn't so long ago, and I don't know what her stat, because you said it was literally just last year, so that's not that far long ago at all. So my question to you would be, because I'm sure there, some people might be able to reconsider, and I think I will, and I think you know where I'm going with this too. I think you know where I'm going with this. So, have you tried any type of reconciliation? You know, obviously now that you're different, you can kind of present that, to the forefront as well. It's not like, because don't feel like it's over at the same time. Never just think to yourself, oh, it happened. It ended, because the ending of it and it being over is two different things too. It doesn't always necessarily have to be over. So don't immediately put in your head the fact that it ended, it's over at the same time. That's not the case. You know, I don't know if you still have communication, contact with the individual. But what you could do, my advice, what you could do is start off small. Don't start off grand. Don't start off big. Don't do the whole flowers thing. The boom box outside the house with the flowers in the other hand. Like don't you ain't gotta do all that. Um, I would say start small. Keep it small, casual. Start off as a friend. You know, just, if, like I said, if you still have any kind of communication, if you still have that kind of communication, because there are situations where people don't have that communication anymore, the whole blocking thing or whatever. Um, Still, Costi, not gonna lie, I did try. She was a different person as well. She had okay, and I didn't want to get in the way of her happiness, and I know she went through a lot to forget me. Well, okay. Um, so with that being said, with that situation, um, okay, so that's understandable. And in this situation, what I would say is, I would still say don't lose hope, because even her having, even her or anyone having a boyfriend or girlfriend in that situation, even after you, it's still, to be real with you, to be honest, it still doesn't mean it's completely over. Now, I'm not wishing ill on their, what they got going on. I'm not trying to say like, um, that it will end, things of that nature. Um, but things could come up, things could happen where it does not work out. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, things could happen where it doesn't work out, and if you just kind of like, I want to say like, yeah, hold your ground, but not necessarily overdoing anything like that. Just like, and that's why I said, and that's exactly why I said be a friend, because when you keep that position of, okay, listen, I'm here, I'm present. I'm not trying to get at you romantically. I'm just, here to show you that, hey, ain't no hard feelings. Things of that. I'm trying to say, things of that nature. When you show them that, and they do see that you're still there, they do see that you're actually legit, you're solid. I'm telling you, if things don't go well with the other individual, things can't turn around for you, because then you'll be there, and she'll notice, and the sky's the limit. Let me see what you got here. You said, why is this dot here? Okay, I told her what was happening while we were together. I felt like I owed to explain it to her. I told her what was happening while we were together. I felt like I owed. Nah, which is real on your part. That's yeah. You're supposed, yeah. I would say so too. It shows her that you are responsible. It shows her that you're able to be vulnerable with her. You respect her, bro. Like, it's really what it comes down to. You know, for a man to openly tell her what's happening, um, you know, while you guys are together, it's a beautiful thing, man. It is. It doesn't. And the thing is, a lot of times, or people in this world or whatever, this world will paint that as maybe as a weak thing, or not such a strong. Nah, bro, that's a strong thing, bro. That's like one of the strongest things a man can do, is be vulnerable and open with this chick. Be real with her. So nah, you did good. Don't think you did, and you did good. You did good, bro. So like I said, with that, just still, stay like, you don't have to necessarily brush anybody off. You don't have to. So the two things that you can get from this: one, you don't have to necessarily drop the whole situation, right? And then the other side of it is, you don't have to push anything romantically. Definitely don't do that. Like, if you see somebody with somebody, yeah, you leave it how it is, and let them process what they got going on, and then if things happen, otherwise, you'll still be that good friend that, okay, boom, this person's serious. The person was already familiar with you on top of that, which means it won't take that much. It won't be that hard for the reconciliation to happen again. So this guy could be the limit, bro. I wouldn't have been with them in the first place. Yeah, yeah. I mean, of course, we all care about our, that's what it is. That's what it is. Nah, I definitely feel that. Just keep that in mind. You gotta stay in the middle. Don't be too romantic about it, and don't completely just drop it. If you say you care as you do, that you still want individual back and things of that nature, then I would say, yeah, probably keep it like neutral. Don't push too hard, but don't completely just drop it as if, you know, it can never it can never happen. Never really tell yourself that either. Um, and well, aside from that too, I gotta give you another point actually. Let me give you another point while I'm here. Aside from that too, though, because it's also important, and I've done this myself, is don't. Um, it also is important that we kind of don't. Uh, you know, I'm trying to. So, wait, let me see how I can say this. Don't. Um, don't be stuck, right? And what I mean by that is also have yourself open for options and availability for others as well. Don't keep yourself just sitting there waiting. That's not cool. Don't yeah, don't sit there just waiting. Um hold on, give me one sec. Come on, man. Okay. Okay, bet there it is. I don't know why this thing's tripping out. So yeah, don't put your life completely on hold too at the same time. I think that's important because I've done that, man. Like that's man, like I ain't gonna say. I ain't gonna say I don't regret it either. Shoot, there is some level of regret there. Oh, what is this thing doing, bro? Hold on. Yeah. Why this thing tripping out on me, bro? All right, whatever. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. Um, this thing is wilding right now. Give me one second, man. Give me one second, yo. Stop tripping out, bro. All right, I'm just gonna leave it like that 'cause I don't know what's going on with that. But anyways, so yeah, like I've man, like I ain't gonna lie. To be real with you, I wasted a lot of time. But I think you said you had to go to work, or am I wrong? Yeah, no, it's well, not that I have to go to work, but I am working today. It's just two different things. Not that I got it, but appreciate that though. Appreciate it, you bring that, that thought up. Um, and but of course, man, listen, when it comes to helping people too, bro, I ain't gonna lie, it's one thing that I love doing. So I ain't finna rush if it comes down to it. If someone needs a little advice, you know what I'm trying to say, like I'm quick to want to help on that. Yeah, I already know when you said it. Nah, you're not holding me up, man. You're not holding me up. I appreciate you, and I just want to give advice where I can, help out. So yeah, no, you're not holding me up. All right. So yeah, I mean, one small, but I will say one small thing that I'll just add on to it, right, is that basically, yeah, I did waste time in waiting, hoping that the situation would turn around. I was one of those. All right, so tell you a little bit about myself. A little bit about myself is I wouldn't say a lover boy or nothing like that, but I do love hard, right? Um, and if I see, yeah, exactly, you know, I do love hard, yeah, that's what it's, hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, ain't nothing wrong with wanting to love hard, like, like, there's two types of guys. There's guys out here that are not, and they're the type that they only think about themselves. No, I know. Trust me, I know. I know what you meant. I know exactly what you meant when you said it. Yeah, both of us. We're the same when it comes to, yeah. But that's what it is. Like there are two types of people, two types of guys. There's guys like us who yeah, we love hard. We care about others. And think about it like this: if we have a big heart, right, and we care about others, we like to help others. How much more do you feel like? Do you think will be with our own spouse? Like having a spouse, that'd be like 10 times more, like 100 times more. You'd want to do more, show more for them too. You get what I'm trying to say? Like you're not gonna slide your feet. You're not gonna be like a lot of these what the other types of guys who don't take accountability, don't take responsibility. You're gonna show up. You really gonna try to show up best way you can. Obviously, none of us are perfect, but you're gonna want to try to show your best hand to that person. Um, and like I said, I love hard. I don't have no shame in my game. Because I know that, and you shouldn't either, bro. That you just got we gotta know that someone's gonna appreciate it. Um, Maybe a lot of our past exes overlooked it, which is cool. I'm honestly not even throwing any shade. Yeah, no, for real. Like I ain't throwing no shade at nobody. Um, not everybody knows how to handle a good man. It goes both ways. You know what I'm trying to say? Like there are there are bad men who don't know how to handle good women, and if I say vice versa, there are not so not so good women who don't know how to handle good men. Um, my name is Alex. My my artist name is Truth, but my 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 um my license name or born name is Alex, and it's spelled with an I instead of an E. You know how people spell it Alex? It's spelled Alix. And nice to meet you, bro. Nice to meet you, Chris, bro. You know. So yeah, that's just what it is. That's just what it is, bro. Um, we are lover boys by nature, and that's something that God put within us. It's nothing to be ashamed about. Honestly, I feel like that will get us way further than the other types of men. You know what I'm trying to say? Like being like that will get us way further. People may have not know how to handle it. It's nice to meet you too, bro. People may not know how to handle it, but hey, like I said, someone's gonna appreciate it. Someone's gonna appreciate it, bro. Promise you that. All right, Christian, bro. All right, but well, my government name is Alex, and I would have wanted it to have been Alexander, cause that would have been pretty fire. Cause it sounds cool, right? Alexander, like the warrior or something. Not just, I don't know. It just sounded kind of cool, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Maybe maybe if I have a, yeah, maybe yeah. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. But let me finish off because I'm almost finished here. Let me see here. But all we know is that we're bring peace. Um, okay. So last thing that I left off with was the substance and all that. Trying to find peace in substances, things like that. Um, of course, but we all know that those kind of things will never actually bring us true peace, right? Or fulfillment. Leaning on substances, things of that nature. Nah. You good, man? I ain't. What you mean, man? I enjoyed just chatting it up with you. That was fun, man. That was fun. It was my pleasure. I ain't minded at all. You ain't gotta apologize for that, man. All right. Now it will be now looking for that kind of peace in like substances or things, temporary things, right? That's all it will ever be, is temporary. It will never last you all the way down the line. Those are kind of peace that you don't want to lean on, right? Um, it will be a temporary covering until you're right back to square one, facing the same exact problems again. That's really all it's going. It's doing is covering it up, right? Now, if I were to do a survey, let's do a survey, right? If I were to do a survey and asked how many people, this is a really good one actually. How many people actually value peace? How many people value peace? Hold on. All right, man. If you're interested, let's hope and on a video call we might become famous. Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I said, I mean, yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. You already followed me. Follow my Insta, and you know, if you got anything that you're working on, you definitely bring it to my attention. We can figure some things out. I'm always open, bro. I'm always open. All right. So now, this survey that I wanted to do with you guys, right, is that how many people actually value peace? All right. If you're watching me right now, if you're watching this, I want you to raise your hand or even put it in the comment section if you value peace or not. I want you to raise your hand if you value peace. Now, I can't see you. I can't see if you're doing it, but God can see you. You can see you and God can see you. All right. I want you to also go ahead and put in the comment section. Let me know if you value peace or not. If you value peace, type in, yes, I value peace. If you don't value peace, you can type in, no, I don't value peace. It's a little survey I want to run real quick. All right. All right. Well, with that being said, I want to end it there too. I want to end it there. All right. And I also, he said, I value it after I struggle, but it's a cycle that must repeat, or else we lose what value we find in it. Yeah, I like that point. I like that point. It's like I said, like if we don't have that guidance, bro, like we don't have not just the guidance, but one thing I will tell you this, aside from the guidance part, right, is also getting closer to God, right? And what I mean by that is the closer we get to God, bro, the faster we don't have to lean on our own mistakes to not want to do something bad again. You get what I'm trying to say? Like people in the world, obviously they can't tell you that because when you're in the world, you're lost. Like I ain't gonna lie, me looking back on my old self, I can tell you I was lost. You know, and when you're lost, you're not functioning at you're not functioning your best. You're not you don't know, honestly, you don't even know what you're doing. You think you're doing certain things right, you're not doing it right, you're not moving smart. It's a lot. And we don't realize it though. That's the only tricky thing about it. In that moment, we don't realize it. It's not until we get closer to God that He reveals a lot of these things to us. It's a real thing. Hold you hostage. I really appreciate you and the things you told me. Blessed day. Facts. For sure, bro. For sure. All right. Now, let me Let me see. Um, oh, that's what I wanted to do. Verses. All right, I got a few verses for you guys. I want to run through real quick for you, and we'll pretty much conclude the live. All right, we'll conclude the video. So let's get into it. Oof, sorry. All right, let's get into it. So I got a John 14, verse 27, right? John 14, verse 27, and this says, "Peace I leave with you," right? "My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives, do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." Okay? I got another verse for you. This is John 16, verse 33. John 16, verse 33. And this says, "I have told you these things, so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world." Powerful, right? That's God telling you He's bringing you that peace. All right, I got another verse for you. Numbers 6, verse 26. Numbers 6, verse 26. And this says, "The Lord lift up his countenance on you and give you peace." Okay. Another one. Romans 14, verse 19. Romans 14, verse 19. And this says, "Let us therefore make every effort to do what leads to peace and to mutual edification." That's basically saying, you know how people basically saying like, seek peace with everybody, seek peace with everybody, seek to love everybody, seek to uplift everybody, versus the other way around, trying to argue and just be nasty to each other and things like that. It's saying we have to intentionally go out of our way to try to do these positive things for others. All right, I got another verse for you. Philippians 4, verse 9. Philippians 4, verse 9. And this says, "Whatever you have learned or received or heard from me or seen in me, put it into practice, and the God of peace will be with you." Okay. I got another. Romans 15, verse 13. Romans 15, verse 13. And this says, "May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing, so that by the power of the Holy Spirit you may abound in hope." Okay? I got another one for you. Isaiah 26, verse 3. Isaiah 26, verse 3. And this says, "You will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in me." Okay? Another one for you. Deuteronomy 31, verse 8 through 9. Deuteronomy 31, verse 8 through 9. And this says, "The Lord, Yahuwah himself, goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged." Okay, just showing you that no matter what you're going through in life, that God, He's going ahead of you. He's got you. Okay. Isaiah 54, verse 10. I got Isaiah 54, verse 10. And this says, Though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed, yet my unfailing love for you will not be shaken, nor my covenant of peace be removed, says the Lord who has compassion on you. All right? This is God making his declaration to us. I got Exodus 33, verse 14. Exodus 33, verse 14. And this says, the Lord replied, my presence will go with you and I will give you rest. Once again, this is him giving me that reassurance again. Okay? And I got another verse for you. Proverbs 12, verse 20. Proverbs 12, verse 20. And this says, deceit is in the heart of those who devise evil, but those who plan peace have joy. If I can't express this enough. What this just said, I'll even repeat it for you. Proverbs 12, verse 20. It says, deceit is in the hearts of those who devise evil, but those who plan peace have joy. Must I say more? You can kind of tell who's who, what's what with that. That's why I said, the closer you get to God, he reveals things to you. You'd be like, whoa, that's why that's like that. This is why this is like that. He allows you to see things. I got another one for you. Yeah. You already know. Alright, I got a few more for you, then we're gonna be wrapping this up. Alright. I got a Numbers 6, chapter 6, 24 through 26. Numbers chapter 6, verse 24 through 26. And this says, the Lord Yahuwah bless you and keep you. The Lord Yahuwah make his face shine on you and be gracious to you. The Lord Yahuwah turn his face towards you and give you peace. Once again, this is him giving us that reassurance. He knows that we are going to be going through a lot in life, so that way he gives us a lot of reassurance that he's going to be there with us through the storms. And he's gone ahead of us. He's got plans set ahead, things of that nature. So we ain't got to really worry. All right. That was actually the last two. That was the last that I have for this. So yeah, that pretty much concludes this this topic on peace. And I think once again that it is important that we exercise peace, not just for ourselves but for those around us. Like I said, being careful of the people that we have in our circle, our influence. You know, that will definitely affect our peace. You know, I wish I knew it sooner and didn't have to learn it a little bit later. These are things that you wish you could just learn. You know, a lot of us would definitely can attest to this, saying that you know, we wish we learned these things much sooner than later. You know, but yeah, you know, find your true peace in God and God alone, and He will bring you true peace. That's really what it comes down to. He'll reveal things to you. He'll reveal what's real, what's fake around you. He'll bring you peace, and that's what it is. Why? Nah. Don't feel like that at all. I mean, some people, I've heard. Okay, let me tell you something. What I've heard, at least with how, you know, I speak on certain things, a lot of people will feel like I target them, or they'll feel like they're being targeted, right? And what it is, bro, is not me. It's one, it's not me. It's whatever God want me to speak, right? So it's His Spirit that flows through me, and I speak, and it's not even to bash or anybody like that, because like I said, we've all come from somewhere. Like, no one's perfect, bro. No one's perfect, bro. I'm not perfect. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. You know what I'm trying to say? So, you know, yes, there are things that I have grown from, you know, but that doesn't still mean that I'm perfect. We all have our own journey. We all have our own, um, places where we are on that journey. You know, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hey, Beast, bro, you're a real one. You already got me followed, so we'll chat. We'll chat it up. I follow you back, like I said. I said Beast, Chris. Hey, Chris is a beast. Keep it there. Um, and yeah, if you guys haven't already, um, smash that like button. Check out my other videos. I'm just getting into it, getting started. Right now I'm on a series, Fruit of the Spirit. I want to touch on the fruit of the Spirit. This one's on peace. Um, like I said, check out the other ones, and got some music coming in for you guys real soon. It's gonna be fun. Stay tuned, or be squared. All right, you guys. Much love. I love you guys for real. Much love. Keep your head up. Keep God first. It's your boy Truth. Truth be told. I catch you guys. Alright, man. Peace with you. Well, talk again soon. Most deaf. Most deaf, bro. Most deaf, Chris, bro. Much love, bro. Alright, everybody. Love y'alls. Holla at your ballers.